From buried in mud for decades and still firing perfectly, to being dropped from helicopters and working flawlessly, some firearms were built so well that they earned legendary reputations for reliability. In an industry where even the most trusted names have recalled products for safety issues, these 7 weapons stand as monuments to engineering perfection. These are firearms that have faced the worst conditions imaginable and never failed their users when it mattered most. Number 7. The Ruger 1022 Rimfire Rifle. In 1964, Sturm, Ruger and Company introduced a small caliber rifle that would become one of the most popular firearms in American history. The Ruger 1022 was designed as a simple, reliable .22 caliber rifle for hunting small game and target shooting. What Bill Ruger and his team created turned out to be far more significant than they initially realized. The rifle uses a simple blowback action with a rotating bolt that feeds from a detachable box magazine. The mechanism is housed in a solid aluminum receiver that offers both strength and lightweight. The trigger group drops out as a single unit, making cleaning and maintenance exceptionally easy. Every component was engineered for manufacturing consistency, using advanced investment casting and precision machining for the era. What truly sets the 1022 apart is its remarkable tolerance for inconsistent .22 rimfire ammunition. The chamber dimensions and extractor design allow it to reliably cycle everything from cheap bulk ammunition to high-velocity hunting loads and subsonic target rounds. In the harsh forests of Alaska, guides rely on 1022s as backup guns for dispatching wounded game. The rifle has proven itself in extreme cold that would freeze more complex actions. Its simple blowback design and robust construction make it highly resistant to dirt, sand, and mud. Over its 60-year production run, Ruger has produced more than 7 million 1022 rifles. Despite heavy modification by countless owners, the basic action design has demonstrated outstanding long-term reliability. In an industry full of recalls, the 1022 remains a shining example of how simple, well-executed engineering can stand the test of time. Number 6. The British Lee-Enfield bolt-action rifle. When the British Empire needed a rifle that would function reliably from the trenches of France to the jungles of Burma, they created the Lee-Enfield. Adopted in 1895 and used continuously until the 1960s, the Lee-Enfield series represents one of the longest production runs of any military rifle. Over 17 million rifles were manufactured across multiple countries, earning a legendary reputation for rugged reliability in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. The Lee-Enfield's bolt-action design features a rear locking system that was unusual for military rifles of its era. Most bolt actions use front locking lugs for maximum strength, but the Lee-Enfield's rear locking system allows for a much smoother and faster bolt operation. The 10-round magazine capacity gave British soldiers a significant advantage over enemies using 5-round rifles. What made the Lee-Enfield truly exceptional was its manufacturing tolerance for field conditions. The rifle was designed to function with generous clearances between moving parts, allowing dirt, sand, and moisture to be present without causing malfunctions. During the trench warfare of World War I, soldiers reported that their Lee-Enfields continued to function even when caked with mud and debris that would disable other rifles. In the deserts of North Africa during World War II, the rifle proved its reliability in sandstorms that destroyed vehicle engines. The action's design allowed sand to pass through rather than jamming the mechanism. British and Commonwealth forces could clean their rifles by simply working the bolt repeatedly, letting the mechanical action clear most contamination. The rifle's accuracy was legendary among military marksmen. The combination of a long sight radius, quality barrel manufacturing, and consistent ammunition allowed trained soldiers to engage targets at ranges exceeding 800 meters. During the Battle of the Somme, British riflemen achieved documented kills at distances that impressed even their German opponents. Perhaps the most remarkable testament to the Lee-Enfield's reliability comes from Afghanistan, where rifles manufactured in the 1940s were still being used in combat during the Soviet invasion of the 1980s. Mujahideen fighters preferred captured Lee-Enfields over more modern weapons because of their proven reliability and readily available ammunition. These rifles had been in continuous use for 4 decades without manufacturer support, yet they remained functional in one of the world's harshest environments. The Lee-Enfield's cock-on closing action was initially considered a weakness by military theorists, but this design feature actually contributed to its reliability. The system required less force to open the bolt, allowing rapid fire even when the rifle was heavily fouled. Trained soldiers could achieve aimed rates of fire approaching 30 rounds per minute, leading German forces in World War I to mistake rifle fire for machine gun fire. Number 5. The Colt Model 1911 pistol. John Moses Browning's greatest handgun design emerged from the United States Army's search for a reliable service pistol in the early 1900s. After extensive testing that included torture tests where pistols were buried in sand, submerged in water, and fired thousands of rounds without cleaning, the Colt Model 1911 was adopted as the official military sidearm in 1911. The pistol's short recoil operation uses a tilting barrel system that locks into battery with precision while allowing for generous manufacturing tolerances. The single-action trigger provides a clean break that contributes to accuracy, while the grip safety and manual thumb safety provide redundant protection against accidental discharge. Every component was designed to be field-stripped without tools, allowing soldiers to maintain their weapons in combat conditions. During World War I, American doughboys in the trenches of France discovered that their 1911 pistols would function even when filled with mud and debris. The pistol's powerful .45 caliber cartridge would clear obstructions that would jam smaller caliber weapons. The straight blowback action was powerful enough to cycle reliably even with contaminated ammunition that caused other firearms to malfunction. The Pacific theater of World War II provided the ultimate test of the 1911's reliability. In the humid jungles of Guadalcanal and the Philippines, firearms faced constant moisture, salt air, and tropical heat that would destroy lesser weapons. Marines and soldiers reported that their 1911 pistols continued to function even after being submerged in salt water during amphibious landings. The pistol's steel construction and simple mechanism proved immune to the corrosive environment that claimed countless other weapons. Perhaps the most extreme test of 1911 reliability occurred during the Korean War's retreat from Seoul in December 1950. Temperatures dropped to -20 degrees Fahrenheit, causing many weapons to malfunction as lubricants froze and metal contracted. The 1911's robust construction and loose tolerances allowed it to function reliably, even when other weapons failed. Soldiers discovered they could operate their pistols even when ice formed in the action. The 1911's modularity has allowed it to remain competitive for over a century. Modern manufacturers produce enhanced versions with improved materials and tighter tolerances, but the basic Browning design remains unchanged. The pistol has been adopted by over 60 countries and remains popular with competitive shooters, law enforcement, and military special operations units. In Vietnam, Special Operations Forces carried customized 1911 pistols on missions deep into enemy territory. These weapons faced monsoon rains, river crossings, and months of continuous field use without manufacturer support. The pistol's reliability was so legendary that enemy forces specifically sought captured 1911s as trophies and functional weapons. The most remarkable aspect of the 1911 service record is its incredible longevity and proven durability. Despite over 100 years of production by dozens of manufacturers worldwide, the basic Browning design has stood the test of time remarkably well. Modern 1911 pistols still use the same fundamental operation as those carried into the trenches of France in 1918. Number 4. The Remington Model 870 pump-action shotgun. When Remington introduced the Model 870 in 1950, they created what would become the most successful pump-action shotgun in history. The design team, led by engineer Ellis Hailston, focused on creating a shotgun that would function reliably under any conditions, while remaining simple enough for field maintenance by users with minimal technical knowledge. The 870's action uses twin action bars connected to the forend that operate a bolt carrier within the receiver. This dual bar system provides smooth, consistent cycling while distributing stress evenly across the mechanism. The bolt locks into battery with steel locking lugs that engage the barrel extension, creating a rock-solid lockup that can handle the most powerful shotgun loads. The receiver is machined from a solid block of steel, creating a platform that can withstand decades of heavy use without loosening or developing play in the action. The trigger group drops out as a single unit for cleaning, and the barrel can be easily changed in the field for different applications. Every component was designed with durability as the primary consideration. Law enforcement agencies across America quickly adopted the 870 as their standard shotgun. Police departments found that the weapon would function reliably after being stored in squad car trunks for months at a time, exposed to temperature extremes and road vibrations that would affect more delicate firearms. The shotgun's ability to cycle everything from light bird shot to heavy slugs without adjustment made it ideal for varied law enforcement roles. During the Vietnam War, military versions of the 870 proved their worth in jungle combat conditions. The shotgun's ability to function when filled with mud and debris was crucial in an environment where firearms faced constant moisture and contamination. Soldiers reported that they could clear jams by simply working the action vigorously, allowing dirt and debris to fall out through the ejection port. The 870's reliability has been proven in extreme cold weather conditions that would disable other firearms. During Arctic operations, military personnel have used 870 shotguns in temperatures below -40 degrees Fahrenheit. The action's robust construction and conservative tolerances allow it to function even when ice forms on internal components. Commercial hunters have subjected 870 shotguns to conditions that would destroy lesser firearms. Waterfowl hunters operating in salt marshes have exposed their shotguns to corrosive saltwater spray for decades without experiencing action failures. The shotgun's ability to function even when partially filled with water has saved hunters whose weapons were accidentally dropped overboard. Perhaps the most remarkable testament to 870 reliability comes from military armories around the world. Shotguns manufactured in the 1950s remain in active service today, having fired hundreds of thousands of rounds without major component failures. The original design was so robust that even heavily used examples rarely require more than routine maintenance to remain functional. Over its 70-year production run, Remington has manufactured more than 12 million Model 870 shotguns. The basic action design has remained virtually unchanged, despite numerous cosmetic and feature updates. In an industry where even simple firearms sometimes require recalls for safety issues, the 870 stands as a monument to engineering excellence. Number 3. The Glock striker-fired pistol. When Gaston Glock entered the firearms world in the early 1980s, he did not follow old handgun rules. He built something lighter, simpler, and easier to maintain. The Glock pistol used a polymer frame and a striker-fired action, removing the need for a traditional hammer and reducing the number of parts. That simplicity became its biggest strength. Fewer parts meant fewer things that could break. The striker system gave the pistol a consistent trigger pull, while the polymer frame kept weight down and resisted weather, sweat, and rough use better than many older metal frame designs. Glock's reliability came from hard testing and simple engineering. The pistols were built to handle dirt, water, cold, heat, and long firing sessions with minimal maintenance. They were not designed to look fancy. They were designed to work when carried every day by soldiers, police officers, and armed professionals. American law enforcement quickly saw the value. A Glock could sit in a holster for months, ride in patrol cars, get exposed to rain, dust, and sweat, and still be ready when needed. Cleaning was simple, field stripping was easy, and officers did not need special tools to keep the pistol running. The design also proved itself in military use, especially in harsh desert environments where sand and heat punish firearms. The polymer frame and simple internal system helped the pistol stay dependable in conditions that could affect more complex designs. That is why Glock changed the handgun market. It was not about tradition, it was about reliability, low weight, easy maintenance, and a design that kept working without drama. Number 2. The M1 Garand semi-automatic rifle. John Garand's M1 Garand gave American soldiers something most enemies did not have at the time: fast, semi-automatic fire in a full-power service rifle. Adopted in 1936, it became the standard United States infantry rifle through World War II and the Korean War. The Garand used a gas-operated system to cycle the action after every shot. Gas from the fired round pushed the mechanism, extracted the empty case, loaded the next round, and made the rifle ready to fire again. That gave American soldiers a major advantage over troops still using slower bolt-action rifles. But the Garand was not just about speed. It was built strong. Springfield Armory and Winchester produced rifles under strict standards with parts made to fit across different production runs. Each rifle was tested before leaving the factory, which helped make sure it could survive combat use. In World War II, the Garand proved itself in very different conditions. Marines used it in the humid jungles of the Pacific. Soldiers carried it through freezing winter battles in Europe. Mud, rain, cold, and heavy use did not stop it easily. Its gas system had enough force to keep running, even when the rifle was dirty or exposed to rough field conditions. The rifle was also accurate enough for trained marksmen. Its .30-06 cartridge, long barrel, and solid construction gave it strong range and power. More than 5 million M1 Garands were produced, often under wartime pressure, yet the design kept its reputation for reliability. Its real strength was balance. It gave soldiers speed, power, accuracy, and durability in one rifle. That is why the M1 Garand remains one of the most respected military rifles ever built. Number 1. The AK-47 Assault Rifle. Mikhail Kalashnikov's AK-47 became the most widely produced assault rifle in history for one simple reason: it worked almost anywhere. Designed after World War II for the Soviet Union's massive army, it gave soldiers a weapon that was simple, tough, and easy to use under brutal conditions. The AK-47 uses a long-stroke gas piston system. That design gives the action strong cycling force, helping the rifle keep running even when dirt, sand, mud, or debris gets inside. Instead of being built with tight, delicate tolerances, the AK was designed with extra room between moving parts. That made it less refined than some rifles, but much harder to stop. That was the point. Soviet doctrine cared more about reliability and mass production than perfect finish or precision machining. The rifle had to be built in huge numbers, used by soldiers with basic training, and maintained in the field without special tools. Kalashnikov's design answered that need. Its reputation grew through decades of conflict. In Vietnam, AK pattern rifles were used in jungle conditions where heat, rain, mud, and moisture punished every weapon. In Afghanistan, older rifles kept working after years of rough storage, poor maintenance, and hard use. That is what made the AK famous. It was not the most accurate rifle. It was not the most advanced, but when treated badly, it often kept firing. The AK-47 also became the base for many later variants. Compact rifles, squad weapons, and updated military versions all came from the same basic idea. The platform spread across more than 30 countries, with production estimates passing 100 million AK pattern rifles worldwide. That massive spread also showed the strength of the design. Different factories built the rifle with different levels of quality control, yet the basic system remained dependable. The core idea was strong enough to survive rough manufacturing, harsh climates, and decades of use. The AK-47's real lesson is not about advanced technology. It is about simple engineering done right. Big safety margins, strong parts, loose operating space, and easy maintenance made it one of the most durable firearms ever made. And that is what connects all 7 firearms in this list. They were not built around flashy features. They were built around trust. Their designers understood that in the real world, reliability matters more than looks, trends, or complexity. When conditions turn ugly, the best design is the one that still works.